In this country, we face huge transport problems with congestion, and of course car ownership has gone up appreciably, and car usage. And particularly in rural areas, the car is an essential part of our lives. There is virtually no public transport, and people are very isolated without a car. After Labour came into office in 1997, they actually looked at the road system in this country, and they decided to prioritize which roads needed to be upgraded and improved. In the east of England, they made these considerations and made a judgment, which was that the A11 through my constituency, a single carriageway road, was the most dangerous in the east of England, and indeed in the whole country one of the most dangerous roads too. Well, I happen to agree with them, because for many, many years there has been a terrible series of deaths and injuries. Literally dozens of people have lost their lives. If you drive up from London to Suffolk and into Norfolk, you go on the M11, which is a road of several carriageways. It's a dual carriageway, and equally if you come to that part of England from the A14 from the Midlands, it's also a road of high quality. And suddenly you come across the single carriageway, the A11, where we've had these ghastly accidents. Having looked at the safety aspects of this road, the government concluded it needed to be dualled and upgraded. This is a plan which has always been there for something like 30 years. It's very good because environmentally there is minimal damage, there is one landowner, and the forest through which this road would go is indeed man-made. After many, many meetings with ministers here in London and ministerial visits to the A11 in Suffolk, we all believed that the scheme would go ahead, and indeed it was meant to be up and running by last year. And then suddenly, quite unexpectedly, just before the last general election, the government announced that it had to be considered at a regional level. So the East of England Regional Assembly then looked at this and decided not to prioritise it with urgency, but to move it on to consideration in the year 2011 onwards. This was a great surprise to me as the local Member of Parliament, or indeed to any other Member of Parliament, because we didn't know this decision had been made. I cannot say I was very amused about this. Indeed, I was absolutely furious. However, things have moved on. And now there is a universal recognition that we all have to work together to get this road dual. Charles Clarke, a Labour MP and former Home Secretary, who is a Norwich Member of Parliament, of course, has to use this road, as other MPs in Norfolk do as well. And he understands, as the other MPs do, the dangers of this road. So he and I have been working together for over a year now to try to do something about this. We've had many meetings together. We've been to see the Secretary of State, Ruth Kelly. And indeed we hired somebody to write a report on the dangers of this road and how we could find some additional funding. Recently, as I said, we met Ruth Kelly. And even more recently, we met with all of those who have a real interest in this particular road, including the Regional Assembly, including the East of England Development Agency, Suffolk County Council, Norfolk County Council, Forest Heath District Council. We all want to work together to move this process forward. The Regional Planning Panel will now decide on the 8th of July as to how to take this matter forward. They have been working with the Department for Transport at our behest so that there is a clear understanding of what now needs to be done. We are absolutely determined to move this process on. And there is now perhaps just an opportunity that we could get the construction of this road underway towards the end of 2010. There's no funding as yet available, but we believe we can put forward a persuasive argument to suggest that that money can be found. There's no point in saying that this road is so hugely dangerous without, in fact, doing something about it. And that is what we are intending to do. I am absolutely determined, as the local Member of Parliament, to work with anybody to get this death trap, the source of carnage and destruction so many people to get it finally resolved. And this is what I'm energetically trying to do at this moment.